The laughter around the grill was easy, loud, and casual, until her sister's voice cut through it like a blade. "Careful, Emma," Melissa said, smirking as she flipped a burger. "Your husband might drop the tongs. You know, since he's not exactly military material." The group chuckled. Even Emma, my wife, smiled awkwardly and looked away. My knuckles tightened around the spatula. The smell of grilled meat mixed with the faint salt of the ocean breeze. But suddenly everything tasted like metal. It wasn't the first time Melissa had taken a jab. She had a way of making mockery sound like humor, her words sharp, then softened with a laugh. I'd learned to shrug it off. But tonight, something in her tone was different. There was venom beneath the charm. Emma caught my eye, a silent plea in her look. "Let it go." So I forced a smile, let my breath slow, and flipped another patty. Melissa kept going. "What was it again, Nick? You're in deliveries? Logistics? Sounds fancy for driving trucks." Her boyfriend Tyler laughed. "Guess we all serve in our own ways." I said nothing. The years of keeping quiet during gatherings like this, family barbecues, birthdays, holidays, had taught me to play the fool when needed. Emma's family loved her, and by extension tolerated me. I could live with that. But what none of them knew, what I'd never told them, was that for 15 years I'd been a Navy SEAL. That I'd left only after a bullet tore through my shoulder in a raid that went sideways. That I carried ghosts none of them could imagine. I'd chosen silence because bragging never healed the scars. And honestly, I didn't need their approval. Or so I'd thought. When Melissa tossed another insult. "But you couldn't last a day in Dad's old unit." Something in me cracked. My vision tunneled for a second. The chatter around me faded. Her father, Admiral Robert Harrison, sat quietly at the patio table, watching everything. His hands rested calmly on his cane. The man was a legend in the Navy. A ghost in the files, a name you only whispered with respect. And he hadn't said a word all night. "Melissa," he said suddenly, his voice gravelly but commanding. The chatter died instantly. "What?" she asked, still grinning. "I'm just teasing." "Enough," he said. Then his eyes shifted to me. "Nick, you still go by Ghost?" The world stopped. The name hit me like a hammer to the chest. Only men from my team would know that call sign. Only someone who'd read Black Level files or been there. I froze, half smiling out of reflex. "Sir." The Admiral's mouth curled into the faintest hint of a grin. "You think I wouldn't recognize one of my own? I was at Coronado when your name came across the command board. Ghost. SEAL Team 6. Melissa's face went pale. Her boyfriend's smirk vanished. Emma stared at me as if she just learned her husband was a stranger. "Dad, what are you talking about?" she asked. The Admiral looked at her coldly. "He served your country with more honor than most men in this room will ever understand. You should be ashamed, Melissa." The silence was deafening. The only sounds were the sizzling of meat and the faint hum of the backyard lights. Melissa stammered. I didn't know." "Apologize," her father said flatly. She turned to me, face red, eyes glassy. "Nick, I'm sorry. I didn't mean." "Yes, you did," I said softly. "But it's fine. And I meant it. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe it was easier to say it's fine than admit how years of condescension had chipped away at me." Dinner continued, but the air was thick with guilt and awkward silence. Emma didn't speak to me once. Later, when everyone had gone inside and the fire pit burned low, she finally did. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, voice trembling. "Because it didn't matter," I said. "I wasn't trying to be anyone else." Her eyes welled up. "No, it mattered. It mattered because I let her treat you like some nobody. I thought you just didn't care." I took a slow breath, the flames reflecting off her face. "Emma, I didn't marry you for validation. I just wanted peace. After everything I've seen, peace was enough." But her face twisted with something more than guilt. It was fear, regret, maybe even shame that had nothing to do with the barbecue. I frowned. "What is it?" She looked away, biting her lip. "Melissa, she's been cruel, but she wasn't wrong about everything." I felt my chest tighten. "What do you mean?" She hesitated, eyes darting toward the darkened house. "There's something I have to tell you before you hear it from someone else." My throat went dry. "Emma, what did you do?" Tears filled her eyes. It was one night. Months ago. I was drunk. I thought you didn't care anymore. You were distant, cold, like you'd already left me. The fire cracked. The night air thickened with smoke and disbelief. Who? I asked. The word felt jagged. She looked down. Tyler. Melissa's boyfriend. I stood so fast the chair toppled backward. My pulse thundered in my ears. The house lights blurred in my vision. You're telling me this now? I said, voice low. After everything? After tonight? She nodded, sobbing. I had to. I couldn't keep it from you anymore. I swear it meant nothing. But I was already walking away. Past the fire pit, past the patio, past the laughter that still echoed faintly from inside. Behind me, I heard the Admiral's voice again, cold, cutting through the night. Emma, you dishonor yourself. You dishonor him. Her sobs broke. I didn't look back. The moon hung heavy over the driveway as I reached my truck. My hands trembled as I started the engine. The house grew smaller in the rearview mirror, glowing softly against the dark horizon. Somewhere in the static of the radio, an old military channel pinged faintly, a familiar code long dormant. I didn't answer. For the first time in years, I didn't know if I was running from war or heading back into one.